want this instant gratification. And,
it would probably be horrible for us if we got the blessing immediately. It would probably couldn't even retain it, maybe.
Yeah. And so it's like, wait on the Lord. He will give you the desires of your heart, because in some ways, he's placed them there anyway. It takes a while for us to figure that out.
Yeah, but they're not instant. God is
No.
not a microwave. He's a slow cooker.
Yes.
He's like a all-day smoker for the barbecue. And it is smoke. It is a rough place to be.
Right.
But boy, does it come out good at the end. So God uses Joseph as he interprets these dreams. Pharaoh puts him in charge of the whole country, basically. And
right.
And he uses Joseph to bless a lot of people. There's the Abrahamic blessing. I'm going to bless you so we can bless others. And now when the next famine comes, Egypt, they're not starving to death.
No.
And lo and behold, who's coming to Egypt for food now?
The brothers. And what I find interestingly too is that Joseph had to learn basically probably Egyptian, a different language, because even now as we are going into the brothers coming, Joseph uses an interpreter. He doesn't speak Hebrew to his brothers. He's incognito, and there's I've been pondering about that too. What's going on with that, because he kind of gives his brothers a rough time. He says, you're spies, he's testing them to some degree. He's playing Columbo. He's playing, how Columbo would be play dumb, because he wants to find out about his family, find out how's your father, and what about your younger, you said you had a younger brother,
Yeah, the one he was really interested in, his full brother, as opposed to all these half brothers.
But I also wonder if he's not wanting to know if his brothers are still honoring his father.
And did they mistreat little Benjamin the way they mistreated him?
Yes. Yeah.
But
so I think, yeah. So it's just interesting how this all plays out in this drama, where they're coming, and they come once, and he puts their money back in their sacks. He's testing to see if they're going to be honest about that, and then when they come back a second time, Jacob says, bring double the money.
Yeah.
So it's like he's just kind of really fishing around to see, what's really changed.
They're having to deal with what they did, and
right.
Dad never knowing. And so this is a chance for redemption for them too, not just to get some food that they need, but for reconciliation. And that's another beautiful theme in the Abrahamic blessing, is reconciliation of broken relationships. We see it with Isaac and Ishmael, that they're the ones who are bearing their father. So there's something must have happened. We certainly see it with Isaac's kids, Jacob and Esau, who at the end reconcile.
And it's really interesting because when they're brought before Joseph, I think this is the second time, Reuben says, we're done for, the sin of the blood, they're thinking that, they're guilty for the blood on Joseph's life, and Joseph's hearing this, but he's pretending that he's, still not able to understand what they're saying. But he says, we saw the anguish on our brother's face, so there's that part that
that's part of the reconciliation, is they're acknowledging their guilt. Yeah, which is a beautiful thing. I also think it's interesting, this another sub theme of the Abrahamic blessing is people want to separate from the world. They don't want to bless the world, and God keeps making people half Egyptian in this case. Joseph appears to be an Egyptian, and you even mentioned that he seems to be engaging or pretending to engage in divination, which is an Egyptian practice. Later on, Moses basically is part of Pharaoh's household, and he's not he's the rich, clean kid with no beard, and he doesn't look
Right.
like it seems
Hebrew.
yeah, and God sort of blends his funnels of blessing, blends them with the culture he wants to bless, but it makes them look unclean. And Paul's another great example. Paul is like
Right.
the Gentile,
Yeah.
the Greek Jew, and so he's suspect. They don't want him in the temple, and yet he's the vehicle for bringing the blessing to the Greeks.
Right.
And so it's funny how those of us who are in the in crowd were so suspicious of those who were on the outside. And you even mentioned how you were able to minister outside of the church to victims of domestic abuse. And to me, that's kind of the same thing. You're in a place of favor.
You know, not to be braggadocious, but my name and Adams County Child Welfare, you know, one of the caseworkers says, well, your name is golden, you know, because of the hard work that I did do. And, you know, and standing up for even many disabled people too. So it's just like, well,
yeah.
Thank you, Lord, because that's your redemptive work.
Yeah. What a beautiful way to have a good reputation is looking out for the broken.
Out of his brokenness, you know, he's being restored. There's forgiveness there. And now he's going to be offering that to his brothers. He had to realize his prophetic dreams were coming true. This is the reality.
Here they were bowing before him.
Yeah.
Must have just flipped him out.
Yeah.
Like, I never should have shared that stuff. I never should have shared it. And then here it is. And his awe of God and probably, that's good. His remembering of the dream and seeing it fulfilled probably really helped him to say, it wasn't you that sent me here, it was God.
Yeah.
And